Every empire swears its money is safe, and every government promises its system will last forever, but time and again, history proves them wrong. From Rome to France, from the Confederacy to modern Lebanon, people have woken up to find their savings worthless, their salaries meaningless, and their futures stolen by systems they trusted. Collapse isn't rare, it's the rule. The real question isn't if financial systems fail, but how you protect yourself when they do. We believe money is solid like stone, yet it isn't stone at all, it's trust, and trust can vanish overnight. That's why history is both brutal and essential, because every collapse leaves behind lessons and patterns for those willing to see them. And the ones who survived weren't those who trusted most, but those who doubted first. The Byzantine Empire outlived Rome by 1,000 years, powered by the golden solidus, a coin so pure it became the world's reserve currency. But centuries later, emperors did what rulers always do. They diluted the gold to fund their power. At first, no one noticed, but once trust broke, the solidus became worthless, and with it, the empire's economy fell apart. Only those who held real value, gold, land, tangible goods, kept their wealth. Governments always destroy their own money. It's only a matter of time. Not every collapse starts in a palace. Some begin with disease. When the Black Death swept across Europe in the 1300s, half the population vanished, cities emptied, and trade routes broke. Yet in the ashes of death came opportunity. Labor became valuable, land cheap, and those who held gold or could work rose higher than ever before. History repeated during COVID-19, supply chains broke. Governments printed trillions, inequality grew, and those with liquidity bought assets while the rest fell behind. Pandemics have always reshaped wealth. They reward those with reserves and punish those without. Florence once ruled the world's finances. Its great banks, the Bardi and Peruzzi families, lent vast sums to kings like Edward III of England. But when he stopped paying, the banks collapsed and citizens lost everything. Florence fell into chaos, teaching a timeless truth. Too big to fail is the oldest lie in finance. Institutions exist to profit, not to protect you, and when they fall, they take your savings down with them. From Florence in the 1300s to Lehman Brothers in 2008 and Lebanon's frozen banks in 2019, the lesson never changes, trust lasts only until it doesn't. Even America learned that lesson. During the Civil War, both sides printed paper money. In the North, greenbacks lost value to inflation, while in the South, Confederate dollars became worthless. Families carried bags of notes that couldn't buy bread, and by 1865, the currency was dead. Only land, food, and gold kept value. Every collapse is a transfer of wealth, from those who trust to those who prepare. France's revolutionaries made the same mistake. In the 1790s, they printed a new currency, the assignat, supposedly backed by seized church land. It was meant to symbolize freedom, but too much printing turned it to dust. Prices soared, wages fell, and paper patriotism became useless. The winners weren't the dreamers. They were those holding food, property, and gold, things no government could print. Jump to 1997, when Asia faced disaster. Thailand's currency crashed, and debt in US dollars became impossible to repay. One country after another, Indonesia, Malaysia, South Korea, fell like dominoes. Economies shrank, unemployment exploded, and ordinary citizens lost everything while global investors bought their assets for pennies. Debt in someone else's money is a silent trap. When the storm comes, it's never the lender who dies, it's the borrower. And then came Lebanon. Between 2019 and 2021, banks locked their doors and froze withdrawals. Citizens saw their savings vanish as the Lebanese pound lost 90% of its value. Doctors, engineers, and retirees begged for their own money, only to be told it was gone. The truth became impossible to ignore. Your money in the bank isn't truly yours. It's a loan the bank might not return. Those who held gold, dollars, or property survived. Everyone else was trapped. Modern history only proves the pattern. In 2008, Americans lost homes and pensions while the banks that caused the crisis were rescued. In 2020, trillions were printed, inflating assets for the rich, while wages stayed still. In 2023, U.S. regional banks failed overnight, and the illusion of safety vanished again. Too big to fail has always been a comforting lie. So how do you protect yourself when the system breaks? History's clues are clear. In Byzantium, it was gold. After the plague, liquidity. In Florence, skepticism. In the Confederacy, hard goods. In France, food and land. In Asia, avoiding foreign debt. In Lebanon, getting out before the doors closed. The details change, but the message doesn't. Survival comes from knowing what holds real value when illusions collapse. Every collapse is tragedy and opportunity. For the unprepared, it's ruin. For the ready, it's a reset. After the Black Death, fishermen became landowners. After 2008, investors bought homes while millions lost theirs. Crises don't destroy wealth. They move it. But wealth isn't just what you own, it's what you can do. The baker who can bake, the farmer who can feed, the builder who can fix, these are the ones who thrive when systems fail. Because when money loses meaning, production still matters. People always need food, shelter, and skill. And those who provide it never stay poor for long. That's the ultimate protection. Real assets, real skills, and real awareness that illusions always collapse. Every crisis transfers wealth from the many who trust to the few who prepare. So the question isn't if the system will fail. It always does. The question is, when it does, will you still hold something real?
If this gave you a new perspective, please subscribe, like, and share the video. History holds the answers. I'll show you where to look.